Hi, beautiful Aries. This is Mary Ellen coming to you from Moonrise Cottage for your June 2018 Soul Tarot reading. I'm starting, as always, with the image of the cards. I've gotten a request from my spirit guides. I guess maybe it was the beginning of the year to start this new tradition so that you could look into the cards just briefly before the channeled messages start to come through. So there's the image. I'm going to toggle over and say hello. Hey everyone, welcome. Everyone who has found their way here, Spirit says. A lot of really profound messaging for Aries this month for two reasons. And Spirit's talking about Uranus, of course, which I'm sure you all know about that, and Mars, our ruling planet, is going retrograde. It is providing a profound opportunity. So, a couple of things I always forget to say. I use the Celtic Wisdom Tarot cards developed by Caitlin Matthews. If you want, I do offer readings and various other services. I've just started adding icons that you can click on in the top portion of the screen. It'll provide you a link right to my website. If you want to book a reading, if you want to just explore there, Spirit says, go and see what's in there. There's some cool stuff in there. And you'll be able to book your own session at a time that works for you. You'll be able to go right to the PayPal site from there, and you'll get some emails, confirmation, and then a reminder. So the other thing I always forget to say, please like and share and subscribe. I guess that does make a difference. I'm not, Spirit saying, I'm not a savvy YouTuber. I guess it's really true. I'm here because I'm on a mission to get some messages out on a stream of love energy that comes into me. So I'm going to jump in. There are the cards. I'd like you to focus a little bit on the center row, vertical row. That is what I consider the core of the message, along with the center horizontal column. And the rest of the cards just sort of describe the journey and provide some supporting information. Now that we've looked at that, I want to show you something, Aries, and I want to talk with you. I'm hoping that you will put some messages on the thread. I always ask for that, about what your journey is like. And I'm an Aries rising. It is the energy with which I meet the world. So there is a lot going on for me, and I'm curious to know what's happening with you. There are the cards. Beautiful Aries. Astounding. Those are the cards for March. The month when the butterfly came to Moonrise Cottage. There's a video of that. I did a live stream. If you're new and you haven't seen it, go check it out. And Spirit began to tell the story of a soul journey, melding our energy. And right in the center, we see this beautiful woman holding a spool. That is the sacred spool of destiny. And it is an alert, if you will, through this woman who is the woman of skill. She holds the sacred spool of destiny in her hands, and she has the capacity to wind it around the tower of her own inspiration, creating her life going forward. And standing to the right of her is a beautiful major arcana card. One of the goddesses of Spirit saying, one of the high goddesses in this deck. That is the sacred alchemist, the mingler of energies. So that was a notification from the spirit realm. And of course, we see the soul journey sitting to the right. That was the outcome. There was a profound journeying going forward. And so we were put on notice. And then in April, this energy goes even deeper as the mingler does her work to bring us into our soul journey. There are the cards for April. Spirit is referencing the top row of cards, wanting you to understand on a spiritual basis, given the destiny that your soul is playing out, while you come into these energies here on the earth, there is a movement towards becoming the keeper of harmony. That's the card on the top left. And because of that desire on a soul level, we step into a moment. It's interesting. Spirit's calling it a moment of prophecy, meaning it was destiny. But that is the sacred initiate, one who dedicates themselves to the sacred lore of all wisdom and all energy. Spirit is talking about the swirl of the energy that comes into the earthly realm and exits from here. And that is why the beautiful mingler of energy was available last month to help us move things forward. And of course, when you take a sacred initiation, it brings a new life. So the card that we see on the top row on the far right is about coming across a very long journey in order to recreate your energy pattern and bring forward the destiny of the dedicator of lore who dedicates themselves to all that is sacred, including the notion of sacred harmony. Beautiful reading and discussion within the reading about the quest and the thoughts that you're having. And we see on the right hand column, on the bottom, on the human realm, an adventure, a very skillful adventure. And if you look upward, we see a new life. That was the spirit theme of the month, a new life arriving into the arms of the sacred goddess. And above that, we see this notion of reincarnation within a single lifetime. And the outcome card is the dreamer of growth. It's phenomenal. Last month in May, that energy continued and began to deepen in a way that took us into our journey. We saw the beautiful liberator of devotion as the spirit message, the spirit theme that my guides wanted to talk about. It is in the center row. It is the second from the far right. So Spirit was talking about, we're going to go through a portal. This journey is deepening. There is energy for the journey. And the type of energy that we were standing in our human life, Spirit says, with our sacred energy inhabiting our space, meaning our human existence. That is the beautiful Queen of Art. That's all about a fire sign, sitting enshrined in a throne that is literally the triple spiral of the birth, life, death cycle. So the energy from the previous month is carried forward right directly into the center of the message. And we saw again, below the Queen of Art, we see the beautiful woman of skill holding destiny and some notations about sacred dialogue and coming through this journey, being given the energy to move things forward in all the ways we see here. The top spirit row, there wasn't an opportunity to create a new way to resolve conflict and to come into your power deeper still because of the skill set that you are learning. On the cycles of the full moon, very important for everyone, Spirit says, going forward in 2018. And having come through this very sacred journey, we see that the last card on the spirit realm on the top row is the beautiful King of Knowledge. It is sacred knowledge that the King holds, and with that knowledge, his warrior days have been transformed. His shield hangs on the wall. He does not need to do battle in the old traditional way. And what he does literally is make the shoes, make the path, Spirit says, for this new journey that we were promised, that we were going on in April. Check it out. There's the April cards. So look at the far right-hand column, Spirit says. There's the journey. It's all about a new life and all the shift and transition that we're going through. And here are the cards again for May. Look at that. The right hand column of cards, all about having the power to move forward through this mystical destiny and become the king of knowledge within our Aries set point. So, all that having been said, and the outcome was a new foundation. It's really beautiful. Here we are in June. Take a look, before I transition over and show you the cards for June again, take a look at the center row of cards and just look at the energy there. Notice the cards that sit there, and now take a look at June. In the middle of May, as most of you know, Uranus transitioned into Taurus, bringing great changes here to the earth and all who inhabit this place. There's so much going on. And at the same time, in June, Aries, Mars is going retrograde. And we are being pulled very deep into our destiny. Let's jump in. Take a look at, Spirit is jumping ahead. Spirit says, take a look at the card that represents our energy, the place in which we sit, or stand rather, in our human experience, in the journey for this month. It's going to be deep. If you want to hang around after I finish the reading, I'll tell you a little bit about what's going on for me and here at Moonrise Cottage a lot. Look at that. There we stand in a feminine energetic aspect, meaning a very fertile moment on the sacred grounds of the ancients, standing with the triple deities far out in the universe, the foundation of sacred knowledge. That is the place our energy walks, Spirit says, through this month. You're going to feel this very deeply. I'm feeling it, and it's still May, and I'm already being pulled really deep. The first card, the Spirit theme card that comes out over the top, is the beautiful dialogue of art. And again, Spirit's talking with us about the moon, the cycles of the moon. There is an opportunity here to join our energies with the spirit realm on this full moon that's coming in order to widen our ability to receive sacred knowledge and to have a very heightened form of vision and to be able to see many, many perspectives, which then, of course, brings new growth. And we see that in this card under the light of the full moon. The sacred river of knowledge. And Spirit always speaks a lot through me about the yin-yang notion of this energy and what happens when the yin-yang flows in its natural form into and out of each part of itself. And what happens in those moments. Spirit saying there's a form of telepathic communication that we have the ability to perform within ourselves in these days. Really beautiful and artful dialogue. And last month, let me transition back. We had the Queen of Art in the very center of the reading. That is where our energy was. And we have moved forward in such a way that now Spirit is able to speak with us, and the energy of this card, the dialogue of art, was sitting right above the Queen of Art. So again, look at the center column. Holding the spool of destiny, and that energy rising through the Queen of Art into the sacred dialogue. And now we see it as the central spirit theme for the month of June. It's a very powerful movement and quite beautiful. There's a lot of mystical energy that's going on here. So here we stand in the center of this reading, being able to be in connection with and have a dialogue with the sacred realm and allow this river of knowledge and information about the art of spiritual living to flow into us because we are standing on the foundation of the knowledge of the sacred realm. It's really beautiful. And Spirit is saying there's a lot of reciprocal stimulation going on in the notion of the yin yang, which we see twice in the very center of this reading. A little bit different type of expression of that notion, but Spirit says nonetheless, wanting to highlight the point. And that, of course, because in April, we were standing in this place on the sacred realm of accepting an initiation into a deeper form of understanding and knowledge on the fiery passion of Uranus. And it's one of the things that I want to speak to a little bit. You know, Uranus, Spirit is saying, and I experience this to be true in my life, is the energy of Uranus, in a sense, is the energy that streams through an Aries. There is so much illumination and so much ability to have, to become a catalyst, because that's what the Uranus energy is all about. It's rapid change to bring sacred destiny forward. Often shocking if we are not in the flow of the energy, if we do not take it up and ride with it. Spirit says, Spirit's talking, I'm getting pictures in my mind. I'm going to show you the cards again, okay? Spirit's talking about riding the energy of the sun as it now joins us while Mars goes backwards. So Mars, and that impulse of the warrior, is going to settle down and help us go backwards in order to come into this very quiet spiritual place where our drive and our ambition and our energy is toward and in the sacred realm. So one more thing about the center column. On the bottom, on the human realm, that is the rememberer of sacred lore. And above that, we see our energy just sitting in that beautiful place, pondering all the battles. And as the energy continues to rise, it brings us into a desire to take on another initiation moment where we dedicate ourselves to the energy and the knowledge of the rememberer of lore, all sitting together in a column. And then the very next thing is the new life dawning. We get to transform on the energy of the sun. And darn it, I didn't I didn't pull the cards from the prior months. But if you look at that image of the revelation of knowledge, we see the sun very bright in the background. And so this journey brought us into this deep mystical place, the dreamer of growth, where both minds, the spirit mind and the human mind, are joined. Phenomenal journey. And then May comes along and we go deeper still, pardon me. And here in June, we see the cards from May transition in another way that brings the journey deeper. So here we have the beautiful foundation of knowledge. The first card on the human realm, because of this transition, is the High Priestess. She is the guardian of the sacred gateway, where our energy arrives because of this journey that we are destined to be on, because we are here in the fire sign energy in the days of Uranus for the next, I think it's 6 years. This is going forward here on the earth. The guardian of the gateway is also known as the guardian of truth. And it is the type of sacred knowledge that Spirit's been talking with us about for months. We've arrived. We're standing at the gateway, and in June we will transition into the next phase of our journey. It's true for all signs, each within their sacred pattern of energy. So here we are, preparing. And the very next card is the sacred shamaness, the queen of battle. And Spirit's been talking about the way we shift and change our battle. That started back, I think, was it March? April, where we were transitioning. No, I'm sorry, it was May. It was last month. Look at the top row, far left. There we are doing battle. And here we are in June. The queen of battle, standing in the center of this realm, human realm, back to back with the high priestess, in order to send us into the next piece of our destiny. The queen of battle is very profoundly, pardon me, I dropped something on the desk. She is very profoundly imbued, Spirit says, with the fire of the sacred feminine. She is a shamaness of the mystical realm, and she assists souls to go forward with their mystical journey. So here we are, not only standing at the gateway, we've been prepared. We paused last month. We dealt with some issues that we had to deal with. Now we have a planetary alignment assisting us this month, and she is going to shepherd us, Spirit says, into our next adventure. It is the adventure of art, and I love it because we had the Queen of Art in May sitting at the center of our reading. Let me just show you. There she is. And all that movement and shift and change. And now we have this beautiful adventure of art coming forward in June. Our spiral is turning. Our destiny is unfolding. And it is a sacred form of vibration that we are working with. It's interesting because, over the last few days, I've been interacting with somebody, and there's been a lot of discussion of the sacred cloak and what it is to be on a secret mission and to have to go very quietly, in a very empowered way, forward into a certain type of battle. And the battle of this beautiful warrior who is cloaked, it's an adventure in order to reclaim a sacred vibration. So that is our destiny this month. While we have Uranus transitioning and coming in to the sacred realm that exists here in the earthly realm. All that we desire, Spirit says. And look, there's the bridge card. This is the shocking change, if you will, that Uranus brings to us, Aries. It is about coming very deeply, going on a quest as the bridge between the human realm and the spirit intention, the quest of knowledge. And this is, sometimes you folks say this to me and on the thread. This is exactly what's going on here at Moonrise Cottage, and I mean exactly. Some very deep traveling into the sacred bowl of all wisdom. Some people call this the Akashic Records. There are all kinds of notations, Spirit says, across human culture to represent this idea. The place where the gods and goddesses live, the realm of the angels, of the Most High, Spirit says. Look at that. Look at that beautiful warrior. Has on the blue garments of shift and change and transformation, setting out on a quest. So we've seen in the last couple of months 2 notifications. We're going on a journey. We're going on an adventure. This is what it is. Because we are the pivot point of the year. So these adventures that we're going on of art and skill have everything to do with the pursuit of this. It's very exciting to me. Okay, so back to the cards. Just above that card, on the far left, we see another foundation card. This is the foundation of art. This card speaks to a sacred tradition of students, and remember, we are the initiate, going into a sacred hut for a 24-hour period, plunged into darkness, and with the intention of being able to be in direct communication with the spirit realm. The third eye opens. They would put a heavy stone on their chest to keep them from falling into slumber. And so we see within the card the notation of sacred travel between the realms from within our human existence. And you see the fronds that come into this illustration from the outside, from the universe, Spirit says. We are traveling deeply in order to create for ourselves a new foundation. Because Uranus is here with us and Mars is going backwards. Things are going to quiet down. Oddly enough, things are going to quiet down for us. In this way, Spirit says, we're going to have our moments of shocking change. I mean, I'm experiencing them. There are things going on here. We'll talk about it. However, for us, this is the bringing forward of the prophecy. And here we see the augury of art. Again, beautiful feminine energy. Look at the central column of cards. So we see the shamaness. Spirit says this is about prophecy. It certainly is. So the shamaness is also here to bring us into our prophecy. And the energy rises through us, our foundation of knowledge on the sacred realm. And Spirit's talking again about the cycle, okay? And so the card that's standing on the very top is the augury of art. It is a prophecy. Look at the coloration of this card. Again, Spirit's talking to me about Uranus and the sacred energy of the sun. This is about being able to manifest from the foundation upon which we stand. It's about the beginning of happiness, the coming of joy, and the ability to bring forward with our energy set point that which we desire. And the fact that it's sitting in this beautiful ocean has everything to do with life energy and abundance and the flow of our energy. It's very interesting to me how this is being displayed, pardon me. And here we are. The very next card, the sun. In this deck, in Soul Tarot, this is the protector of lore. And so we have moved through in 3 months every single card in the deck that has to do with dealing with being in the realm of, being a sacred bard, a sacred initiate of this energy of Uranus, the energy of the sun, the sacred place of the Aries energy. And Spirit's talking to me about our home. Okay, look at that. And there's the abundance. The apples that we see in this card signify abundance. And so, Aries, here we're standing. Last card on the sacred realm. I call that the marked man. He has been completely transformed, right down to his shoes. Remember the king was making shoes for a new journey to go forward, and the shield was hung on the wall? It's because, we get to rest for a couple of months. We are going to have our intense moments with Uranus, but it's not going to be about fighting. It's not going to be about battle. It is going to be about sacred fire energy. And it's interesting because Spirit's been talking with me about a video that I did last summer, and I can't remember if it was June. It was around the time of the eclipse. Spirit's talking about that. So there's a request from the spirit realm to go to the videos on my website from last summer and take a look at them. And what's coming through about it is it was very intense and it was deeply into the sacred realm. And Spirit was talking about going to the sacred temple, I think in Tibet. I'm pretty sure I put some music there from the sacred monks. I got in trouble from YouTube on that. I didn't know. I was still new. I didn't know you couldn't do that, right? So there it is. That's where we're going. We are literally standing on the ground of the ancients. Spiral of destiny is there, pardon me. This is the protector of sacred lore, the sun god, the energy that brings abundance, and it's male energy in order to move things forward. It's beautiful. And check out the outcome card, the liberator of devotion, which was last month sitting in the placement that is currently occupied by the dialogue of art. Look. So you see that the liberator of devotion and the foundation of knowledge, they sit together in the outcome of last month's reading. And there it is today. It's really gratifying to me, given what is going on inside of me as an Aries and what's happening in my external life. So again, we're going really deep. There's another notation of a shaman, this time a male shaman, giving us the ability, Spirit saying, pulling us through the sacred portal of existence, the liberation of our devotion. And I think it's all about, based on what I'm experiencing, it has to do with connecting very deeply to the sacred. Okay, Spirit's talking about it as if it's a realm, the realm of the sun energy. We're talking about the sun god, all of those notions. Now I'm getting pictures of the pyramids. I don't, I'm not a person that knows all that stuff. You guys are smarter than me when it comes to that. So I'm just streaming the messages through. So I'm going to toggle back to the cards, and I want to wrap up because there's some things that didn't come through. Take a look at the card on the bottom row, on the far left. There's the High Priestess. And the energy rises through the central core of our being as we stand in this foundation of knowledge. That is how we stand before the gateway in that aspect. And the energy transpires into that place and continues to move us into the realm of the protector of lore. Because we have taken on the mantle of the sacred initiate, that moment has arrived. That's what that message is about. So if you look at the other diagonal, on the bottom right, the adventure of the art of a fire sign, moving its energy into this foundation of sacred knowledge, which then transmits, it's funny, Spirit was saying transmutes itself into another foundation, the foundation of art. So we have these notions that have come forward these many months, Spirit says. And this is our month of liberation. That is the shocking change that is going to come for us because of the presence of Uranus in our sphere as we have been prepared for the arrival. So we're going to go really deep. And so Spirit is talking with me about a literal, boy, it's funny, I'm having trouble talking today. The vibration of this shift to change is the most important aspect of it. The cards in the reading give us the notions, give us the information. Spirit says, sort of fleshing out the moment. Something very important is happening, and that is why the outcome card is about going through a portal. So we are, Spirit says, to be very aware of the energy, if you will, of Uranus. That is the energy of the sun. And so I think rather than talk more about that, I'm going to leave that up to you. Spirit says a little bit of homework, okay? Please go and research that for yourself because you should always follow your own internal inklings. And we've seen enough about that in the last couple months that we are holding the spool of our destiny. I think it's true for all beings that are here in these moments if we should choose to take it up. So there's something about the sacred energy of the sun, the energy of Uranus, that brings creation into being. That's what Spirit's talking about. I would love to hear from you if you want to put some messages on the stream. So I'm going to stop talking about the cards for a minute, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit about how I'm experiencing this. So, as the months have gone forward, and I have felt the change in my energy, and the types of things that are happening here in terms of the people who come to Moonrise Cottage for a reading or for a healing session have intensified. And there are a lot of people who really are standing at the gateway, standing right in the moment of shift and change. And that's the Uranus energy. So, what's happening here is that I'm feeling it rise up within me. Some of my abilities are beginning to strengthen, and it is because I actually literally do carry the energy of Uranus. It is the vibration with which I exist, and it is one of the reasons why I have the clairvoyant capacities that I do. So when I feel that begin to vibrate within me and cause me to want to shift and change and go really deep into that energy, a couple things happen. Part of me gets a little resistive because I know it's big change and I will never look back. And so I've been trying to decide over the last couple of months, well, where am I going? Am I going to stay here? Am I going to sell this place and move on? I've had some desires that way. And so I think that's part of what we are wrestling with on the inside as we begin to move forward, because clearly we are moving forward in a way that is, okay, Spirit says it's changing the universe. It's our part of the energy tapestry that we worked on. It has to do with the Uranus energy. And now it's here. So, what we can achieve, what we can accomplish, and what we can know in these next couple of months as a new foundation, because we see two foundation cards. I'm going to toggle back. As this new foundation, this incredible energy of Uranus is going to be the energy that we ride, and Spirit keeps talking about that. As we go through the next 5 or 6 years, with the way Uranus is stationed in Taurus. Uranus arrives here to help transform, the earthly realm. Uranus is assisting Pluto that is stationed in the first house of Capricorn. It's an amazing moment of very high energy. Spirit is saying it is pure light energy from the sun. So, Aries, for the first time in a long time, we are able to come directly into our flow of energy and feel it and take it up. There's going to be a lot of movement into the mystic. And again, the cycles of the moon, very important. Okay, so go and look at what's happening in your lunar calendar and the cycles that is going to bring to you. And allow yourself to come in line with the notion of the light and the darkness and how that brings a yin and yang movement of energy, because we see, I'm going to toggle back one more time. We see this notion of the light in the darkness. It's profound to me. The young warrior in the bottom, on the far right, is cloaked, and he actually has to take a journey into the darkness at night to go retrieve something that is extremely valuable, and it is all about the vibration of the instrument that he's holding. It was stolen in a battle, and he had to go and get it back. And he had to go into the darkness, into the spiral of shift and change under cloak of night. And there's also some information that's been coming through about the notion of being cloaked in order to go have this mission. Sometimes it is really great not to be seen. So I think Spirit's going to speak through me more about that. So again, we see this beautiful adventure of art transitioning through the place of sacred dialogue at the full moon into the darkness and yet there is light. In order to bring forward the spin, to stand in the full light of the sun, in order to bring us to this liberation that comes through, because Mars is going retrograde while Uranus stations in Taurus. It's phenomenal. So I feel like I, for myself, have had to make a conscious choice to continue to do the work I'm doing and to allow it to deepen. And there's, one of the shocking things that's happening here is I've had to let go of some notions that I've been holding on to for a long time and allow energy to be released in order to bring shift and change here to Moonrise Cottage, because it's time for people to begin to journey here and have some days to come and stand in this place. I've known for many years that that's what was going to happen. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know when. So there's a lot of movement happening, and all in a moment, just like Uranus, suddenly, without anticipation, things began to shift and change in the periphery of my life. And I had to wrestle with that. It was really hard, and I'm continuing to wrestle with it. But I'm finally have decided, why are you fighting that? Bring it. Spirit says, bring it, bring it. It's the energy of the sun. And so what's literally happening, I am cutting trees on my property that I vowed 20 years ago I would never cut because there was a form of energy coming through them. And they are coming down this week. It's making me grieve very deeply. They've been accompanying me for a long time. What's also true is those trees are covering a giant vein of sacred quartz, huge quartz boulders. And so they are moving on. So the energy that is embedded in the land here, and I believe there's more to come about that, can be uncovered and revealed. And so that I can get some more solar gain. That's kind of how it all started. And I was arguing with the solar guy going, I'm not cutting those trees down. I don't care. I don't care. Just put more panels up, And finally I realized, no, it's time to let go. Let the change come. Bring the full light of the sun onto this property and allow the energy of the quartz to be revealed so that the next phase of what is meant to happen here at Moonrise Cottage can evolve. Doesn't sound like a big deal when I hear myself say it, but it is huge for me. So thanks everyone for being here. And I'm looking forward really to feeling your energy. I'm going to be sending out a lot of energy over the next couple of weeks as we move through June, while I deepen into my own journey to take on whatever is the next phase for me as a sacred initiate. And I'm wishing you well and sending you all my love and all the energy that I have available to me out to you. So let's play with that together and chat about this unfolding on the thread below the video. Thanks, everyone. Really enjoy it. I'll be looking forward to hearing from you. I'm going to transition back to the cards so you can look at that just for a moment.